Hi guys, just going to give you a brief tutorial on how to record behavior, whether it be positive in the form of house points or negative in the form of behavior points. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. You can go to a markbook if it's a student in one of your classes, so your markbooks are all kind of around this area. Or you can click on this bit here, up here, and then that'll also allude to all of those. If it's a student and it's not in class time, you can search the student's name up here, as I've done with a few different students over the last few weeks. If I wanted to find Jack, for example, I could press go and it'll find all of the Jacks or students with Jack in their name. Anyway, let's have a little look at how I would record behavior if it's a group of my students. So I'm just going to click on this particular group. And I've got two options at this stage. The first option you will find is here in record group behavior. And the second option is here where it just says record behavior. Now, the difference between these two is that record group behavior is a kind of a shortcut. It doesn't have all of the options available, but it is really handy if you want to record multiple students at the same time. And let's just say you want to do some, this is what I like to do with my my house point. So I'll click on that one and show you what that one does first. So that opens this particular screen and you will see color coordinated. We've got in green here, positives. And then in kind of like an orangey tone here, we've got some negatives. And then what you've got to do is select students. Let's just say I think that Jad has been naughty because they haven't done their homework. Let's just say there's been a few students at the same time. I can mark them all at once. And let's just say that we've got contributions to group work that these students here have done. It just means that all of these things will be recorded at the same time. This is a useful thing to have on your screen during a lesson time to kind of motivate students to know exactly where they're at with their behaviour for learning. And it encourages you to positively demonstrate your how you feel about how they're doing in your lessons. This one is quite a small list of things, so generally low-level behaviour points. The next way we can do things, I'm just going to click back. I'm not going to save it. You must press save at the end of that if you're going to, and your save's down at the bottom of the screen here. If you don't press save, they don't get the points. I'm just going to click leave because I'm leaving that one. Right, the next option is, as I said before, record behavior. Now, record behavior, as it sounds, is where we want us to be if we're going to do something a little bit more detailed. Now, this is a little bit more involved, a little bit more time consuming, but it's not massively so. So in here, we have lots of different options we can reward for, again in green, and then we've got a couple of different things to say that we've sent emails home, meetings, or phone calls. Now, if you send an email home, one of the best things you can do is put a copy of that email in your school notes bit down here, because if you do that, it means that any pastoral member of staff or members of SLT investigating, if it does escalate, they know exactly how that's been processed, and that just gives us a little bit more information in terms of the timeline. Now, the next thing we do is when, obviously, if this date's correct, you just leave it as it is. If they're in a particular group of yours, they're in there, and then just noting the location of where the behaviour occurred. Now I can add students. Now I can add the kids in my class because I've done this through my class markbook. So all of these students are here, so I can add multiple students at the same time, and they will. If I click on that one and then that one and then that one, okay, if I make a mistake, I can easily remove it up here on the right. I'm going to click cancel, just in case I accidentally post this. Just a description of what's happened. anything in the school notes box is really useful to the pastoral team. So when it's followed up, depends on what kind of action it is as to what it'll ask you to do. So B1's low level disruption. It'll indicate that what you're meant to do is have a mandatory action of a verbal warning and a written warning on the board. And then obviously notes to dictate what's happened. If we're going to escalate slightly further, continually late to lesson, 20-minute departmental detention. Again, notes will go in here. And then further down into the kind of B4s, we've got parent meetings, 2-week reports, and warning letters, which are something that will be processed. Further on, again, as you escalate, it'll tell you exactly what you're supposed to do as a result of that. Again, I'm just going to reiterate the importance of this column here, school notes, because this provides us with the details. And if we don't have the details, it's very difficult, and you can cause some real difficult conversations for pastoral leaders if they're going to deal with parents. And it just means that they've got all the information together and ready for to deal with a more robust parental discussion. Home notes could be added, but be very mindful that this is something visible to parents. So when you put something in this box, it means that the person at home reading it will know exactly what's happened. So be very mindful that this is something that parents will see. I would certainly encourage you to use school notes. With home notes, it might just be keep it brief and factual, entirely factual. Nobody needs your opinions in your home notes box. Again, marking things as complete, and then crucially, guys, pressing save. And that's everything there. Where's my... I don't know what's happened to that.